Fire and burns are the 5th leading cause of injury-related death to children in the United States. And for this reason, it's very important for everyone in the home to be fully prepared for a fire, especially children.
Jonathan Pritchett from Home Depot will show us how we can keep our family members and valuables safe during a fire. So let's talk about some of the items that will help us if a fire occurs. What's the first thing we should go with?
Absolutely. The first one is actually kind of some new technology. It's actually a night light. It's actually activated by the alarm from the smoke detector. So when the smoke detector goes off, it's going to illuminate 10 times the actual normal brightness that it has. So it's going to actually normally operate on a 5 lumens, which is about like a 5-watt night light. But then it's going to obviously, once the smoke alarm goes off, brighten all the way up to a 50 lumen light that will help illuminate the hallway in case of a fire.
That's great. And so many people forget extinguishers in the house. Tell us how important these are.
Well, we're going to that time of season when these are going to be very important. So the first one obviously is for outside wood, paper, any of those type of items where a liquid fire extinguisher would be appropriate. So if you have a fire pit that you're using outside, anything with a fire that you have inside with a fireplace, this could be the appropriate fire extinguisher for that particular fire.
That's the red one?
That is the red one, yes.
Okay, what is the white one?
This one is a dry-based item. So it's going to have a dry chemical in there to be able to use with any liquid like a grease fire. So there again, a very popular thing this time of year is that turkey fryer that we use outside, right?
And we always hear about a fire.
And you see those crazy things on YouTube, obviously, where accidents have gone awry. This is a key item to have, but not only then, but you obviously have it for the rest of the season as well.
Should we keep one upstairs and downstairs?
For the liquid-based one, the red one, yes. It's always good to have that because, again, a lot of people even have their dryer upstairs, and there's so many dryer vent fires. It's never going to hurt us to have that in both locations, for sure.
Okay, we know we need the smoke alarms, but a lot of people forget about the carbon monoxide.
And it's a silent killer, unfortunately, and unfortunately there's no way to detect it unless you have the alarm itself. So the great thing is that these particular smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector I brought today are worry-free for 10 years, meaning that there's no way that you have to actually replace the battery. The battery is encased inside of the alarm itself. So there's not going to be any of that chirping in the middle of the night.
Thank goodness.
2 o'clock in the morning, right? Yeah. So when that happens, you know, we all run, we change the battery, but then the next day or the next week, another one goes off in the house. These are designed where you don't have to worry about that at all. The other thing is people don't realize is your average smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector only are good for 10 years. So even if you're replacing the batteries in them, we're unfortunately doing ourselves disjustice because we may have actually should have replaced the alarm itself. So these are worry-free where you actually go the 10 years. Once the alarm comes on, it's time to change them. You have to replace the entire unit.
And so these are all great things that we can buy, but you also talk about a fire escape plan. How important is that?
It's extremely important. It's something we actually, I think, don't put a lot of value in because we don't take the time to really kind of check the small things. We'll go through a plan with our family. We'll decide where we're going to meet at. Once we get out of the house, we'll put in a fire ladder in our child's room. If it's a second-story house, the thing that we forget about sometimes is, will the window open? And can the child itself physically get that window open? So when we go through, when we develop a fire escape plan, we really got to think about each and every detail on that. These items are just going to help in prevention. If there was to be a fire, we want to make sure that we have the things in place to make it very easy, right, that we've actually executed the plan to see will it work in case we have that.
Jonathan, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
We appreciate
Glad to be here. Thank you so much.
When My Carolina Today returns, I'm going to do it like Scooby-Doo style. Did the employees of Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina collectively lose 10,000 pounds? We'll find out how they did coming up next.
You can find us on Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter. Just search My Carolina Today.